Hi everyone! Welcome to this era. The show that talks about the many sides of me. That sounded so scripted, huh? The show that talks about the many sides of me. Like that's like, so Kevin, what are you doing? But that's fine, that's okay, sweeties. Let's fade this music out. Hi guys. Welcome to episode 2. You do not need to be good at it to enjoy it. That's what the episode is called. We love, we live, we laugh. Yeah. Oh. I forgot about this mute button. Holy Guys, I have a new, what do you call it? A thing, a button. What do you call that? Censor? Censored? Like, you know, I can like pretend I'm going to say something really like, you know, ugly and just like, holy like, fuck. Like, that's awesome. I love that. Anyways, this episode is, you don't need to be good at it to enjoy it. I came across this sort of idea. I was watching a YouTuber and, this YouTuber was painting something and was like, ugh, like I don't need to be good at it. I'm enjoying it. Like, and I was like, oh my God, same. You know, like I was like thinking a bunch of like random situations in my life where I'm like, sometimes I do something and I feel like, you know, I'm not good at it. It's ugly. And it's like, sometimes we forget that we really have a not short lifespan, but we don't have like all the time in the world, you know? And why do we have to, we don't need to be like good at it. Like we don't need to be good at something. Like we can fail. And at the end of the day, you really just gotta like ask like, did you have fun? And if the answer is yes, then that's living. You had fun. And I can probably say that with relationships, you know, sometimes it could be sad. But did I have fun? Yes, I did. Then that's all. That's awesome. Did the other person have fun? Did they? Yes. Cool. If they didn't, I don't know. That's your problem. It's not mine. I'm just kidding. No, that sounds so sad, but I don't know. I always do this. I like say something that's like, oopsie, I don't know how to fix that. Like, I don't know what to say. But you don't need to be good at things. Like, for example, I painted sometimes or, you know, something, or when I was going to school, I was learning how to draw. I literally had no idea how to do anything, but I did it, and I did it better sometimes. I did it so good, and everyone was like, oh my God, Kevin, like, you, like, how? And I'm like, I just followed the instructions. Like, like I just did what the teacher like was saying, you know, and one time I hated it so much. It was this one, I still have the picture. I did this drawing and I didn't like it. I was like, ew, it's like not even like pretty. It's not even doing it. And then the next day I turned it in, you know, and the next day I walk into, you know, there's like a gallery. There was a gallery. And my thing was up, my drawing was up and I was like, what the hell? And then my like friend was there and she was like, oh my God, mine is too. Like, why is it there? And my teacher was like, are you surprised that your drawing is up? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, why? Like, why is it? It's not even like how? And she pointed it out and she was like, you know, you did this, you did that right. And like, I was like, oh my God, I started realizing like I did do good. Like why was I blind? And it's like, I know this probably doesn't have to do with like, oh, did you enjoy it? Like, you don't have to be good at it to enjoy it. But like, I should have just like let go and just like really just, you know, should have been mindful about everything and then just let go and do it. I feel like I get stuck at, I'm not doing good and that takes away from enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be good at things like painting to enjoy painting. If you're painting and it's ugly, like it could be ugly. I mean, it's still kind of art, low key. Like it's still art. Um, I'm a gay hipster, and I look at art for inspiration. Um, I don't know what these random personas are. Like I don't know. I have this like gay icon persona, like that comes out of my podcast. I swear. You just, if it's ugly, it's ugly, but did you have fun? Like I hope you're having fun doing it. As long as it makes you happy, then beautiful. Continue doing it. Sometimes for me, like this podcast, for example, it's not like the production quality that sometimes I want, but the production quality, like me doing it, makes me happy. And so I do it, and it's something that makes me happy, and I enjoy doing it. Anyways, painting, that it's the same thing with like the production quality, that like painting, it brings joy even if it's ugly, and I feel like, for example, my mom, she likes painting rocks, and sometimes it's like, to her eyes, it's not the best. To my eyes, it's like, oh, what the hell are you doing? I'm like over here being like, you're doing so ugly, but go ahead. No, sometimes it's like, I'm like, oh, but you can do this. But it's like, at the same time, I sort of got to remind myself that my mom is having fun doing it. And it's building a skill, she's building a skill. So then do it. Give me a sec. Guys, I'm so busy. I'm answering my boyfriend. Anyways. What was I saying? Oh my God. I'm coughing. I got sick. I did my COVID test and I was negative. I am negative. But I got sick. It was so weird. Everyone got sick. It was crazy. I don't know. I think it was, I don't even know what it is. The flu. I don't know what I had. It was like a respiratory thing though. Like I said, I did my COVID test. It was negative. We all did actually, and it was negative. So, JK, not everyone, but my mom did and I did, and it was negative. So, anyways, what was I saying? My mom is building a skill in painting. And some people feel like they need to be perfect at something to be able to fully enjoy it. And like, you just don't. You don't have to be completely like perfect and exact and professional to enjoy something. Some people are professionals and they do it and they are happy with it. But you don't have to be that. And it's like, if whatever you're doing, if it pains you that you're like doing ugly, quote, quote, doing ugly, and it's just not making you happy, then like really, turn around and look at it and be like, but what am I saying? Just look at it and, sort of reevaluate the situation and ask, it's okay, and try to enjoy doing it. Like, you're doing something, sweetie, and you're doing it flawlessly. Okay. And sometimes it, I don't know. It's like two sides. Like I said, I always like looking at two sides. I feel like sometimes you do have to be perfect at something to enjoy it. And sometimes you don't have to be, but like, I just sort of like, just dive deep into whatever you're doing and go with the flow. And you don't have to feel necessarily like happy, but fulfilled. You finished something, you finished a task, you did it. Yay. Like, you're good. Don't like do the task with like, ugh, like ugly, disgusting, I hate doing this, blah, blah, blah. I think that's like, and I'm not calling myself perfect. I've done that plenty of times. But you don't need to be good at it to enjoy it. Yeah. what kind of situations did I have in my life? I mean, school for sure. That's like a big thing. Like I went to, I did a lot of artwork and stuff, and I would be like, "Oh, is this good?" And honestly, guys, every single time, I'm like, I don't really see. It's hard for me sometimes to see what I'm like. I'm good at something. I really am good at a lot of things, and sometimes I fail to really see that. But other people point it out, and I see it sometimes, and other times they point it out, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then in the end of the day, I'm like, I get like, let's say a good grade or really, really positive feedback or something, an award, anything. And then I'm like, oh my God, like, what the hell, Kevin? Like, look at you. Like, why do I not see that? I have that realization. I'm like aware of it now. Like, I am good at this. I just don't, I think it's just like a lack of confidence. I'm not confident sometimes at what I am doing. And it's the same thing. Like, sometimes I'm like, I do have like little moments where I'm like, dude, like, I'm so good at this. I need to do it. I need to enjoy it. And sometimes I'm like, ugh, I'm not good at this. I really just don't know how to answer like this. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, that's just, sometimes I have a good day and sometimes I don't with that sort of stuff. Whether it is art or something that I'm doing around the house. Just really, I've sort of talked about this kind of topic in, I think, season 2 and season 1 too, like where I'm like saying, to envelop yourself in what you're doing. And that still plays this part where, you're going to, to enjoy it or be mindful of what you're doing, because we can't be sitting around here like, not finishing the task and not doing it, because then that brings more pain. But also doing the task and like being fulfilled that you finished it, but doing it like mindfully, like aware of like, oh, I'm doing this, and clean energy while you're doing it or something. Listen to music, like these things to help better guide you in doing the next step. Not like bashing yourself. I think that's like, it's hard, some people are like, sometimes it's hard to find confidence in what you're doing or what the uncertainty, like what you don't know what you're going to do or what you're going to do next. But I think that's like the biggest lesson. The advice of the day that I'm going to give for this episode is to look at things in the past or now that you maybe are aware that you weren't fulfilled or happy with it. And if you're going to do it again, but this time do it differently and be more mindful of it. And just be aware that you do not need to be good at it to enjoy it. So, yeah, that's like the biggest advice that I can give, sweeties. That's the advice of the day. So, thank you guys for listening to this era. I hope you enjoyed listening to my very short podcast. I don't have to have a long podcast, I exchanged some energy, and that's what brings the next episode. Episode 3 is going to be about slowing down, and that's another big advice that I can give, so listen to that episode. Thank you guys for listening to this era. And if you're listening to my podcast on Apple Podcast, be sure to give me a review. I would very much appreciate the review. And stay tuned again for next week, where I'm going to talk about slowing down. So yeah. All right. Bye.